And welcome back, and I had to separate these guys a couple times because we're now getting into our rivalry game. Same face, new place. Players who have moved around the American leagues, we're trying to figure out where they went, trying to help you out with knowing where people are at this year. The way this game is going to go, I'm going to ask a question to contestant 1. He will have a chance to name the player who has moved. And I'll move on to contestant 2. There are no steals in this game. Last time we had steals, people had to be separated. There was some slapping and hair pulling.
Well, Matt's part.
Anyways, what we'll do is we'll start with Matt. The first round will be worth a point. Second round will be worth 2. And Jeff, the third round will be worth
6.
3 points. So just if you're scoring at home, here we go. We'll start with Matt since he won the coin toss backstage. This pitcher, top 10 in the American League with 15 wins and 190 strikeouts, left Oakland and went to Arizona.
Dan Herron?
Dan Herron is correct. This player is nicknamed the Mayor, went from Detroit to Boston.
Is this me?
You're up.
Detroit to Boston, the Mayor?
And
I don't know.
Time. Sean Casey, the Mayor. This powerful lefty was involved in a brawl with Vince Padilla last year. Went from Oakland to the Chicago White Sox.
Nick Swisher.
Nick Swisher is correct. Good kid, 2 for 2 so far. This player, though he doesn't agree with the nickname, is nicknamed Peter Pan and went from the World Series winning Chicago White Sox to the Colorado Rockies.
Peter Pan? Went from the White Sox to the Rockies.
Yes. And if you don't know the answer,
Isn't there a time limit that you wanted to...
Scott Pod said that. Ofer over here, our so-called pro,
I'm going to start throwing things.
has not lost yet, and this could be your first loss ever. This player's salary was $427,000 before the trade, and it's incrementally larger now, and has moved from Florida to Detroit.
Miguel Cabrera?
Miguel Cabrera is correct. 3 for 3 for the good kid.
He's on third base. I'm still on the plate.
This outstanding center fielder started in the majors at 18, and he moved from Atlanta to the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Andrew Jones.
Hey, finally on the board, Andrew Jones. This 2-time Cy Young Award winner moved from Minnesota to the New York Metropolitans.
That'd be Johan Santana.
Johan Santana. It's the first round. You should be racking up these points. This player has played for both Florida franchises as he moved from the Chicago Cubs now to the Tampa Bay Rays.
Cubs to the Rays.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Merton.
No, that is Cliff Lloyd.
Really?
This player has a younger brother still with the Cubs farm system, and he moved from Baltimore to join his pal Dusty in Cincinnati. Oh, you're going to kick yourself.
I know, because I know the...
Nope, that's a shame. Number 20, Corey Patterson. The last question in the first round to Mr. Groves. This player is known for having his blonde highlights and one of the most amazing catches in Anaheim, but he moved from St. Louis to San Diego.
Jim Edmonds.
Jim Edmonds is the player.
Talk about getting one.
And we're going to consult the judge. After round 1, the score is 4 for the good kid and 2 for Grover. As we move into round 2, like we said, all the points are doubled. These points are worth 2, and we start with Jeff. This player signed as a DH after only having 18 home runs. He went from Houston to Baltimore.
Houston to Baltimore.
And for those of you who are... That'd be wrong. For those of you who pay attention to the show, we mentioned that Luke Scott was the player that moved from Houston to Baltimore. Good kid. This player was the last Cub to win 20 games. He moved from Philadelphia to return to the Chicago Cubs this year.
That'd be one John Lieber.
John Lieber.
Big fan.
This pitcher spells his name with no H. He went from Chicago to the Anaheim Angels.
John Garland.
John Garland, John with no H. This player used to patrol the outfield for the Chicago White Sox, but he moved from San Diego to Milwaukee. He had a name.
He's got a name.
Also mentioned earlier in the show, Mike Cameron. This player received some MVP votes in their World Series run in 2005 as he moved now from Houston to the New York Yankees.
Houston to the Yankees. I don't know, Carlos Lee. He's not there.
Morgan Ensberg. Good kid. He made an amazing face plant catch into the wall in Philadelphia before he moved to San Francisco.
Aaron
Start
Rowan.
throwing things.
Aaron Rowan, it's the luck of the draw. I actually switched it up so you went first this time and just not getting it done. This player won a World Series ring with the Anaheim Angels. He moved from Toronto and is now manning third base in St. Louis.
Troy Gloss.
Troy Gloss is correct. This player followed the same trading block footsteps as Mike Piazza. He was a catcher in New York and has now moved to Washington.
Come on.
Can't pull that guy's name.
Paulo Duca.
Paulo Duca was in L.A., then he went to New York just like Piazza. This player threw a bat at an umpire, allegedly, on accident. He moved from Tampa Bay to Minnesota.
Elijah Dukes.
Ooh, close,
Delman
but no
Young.
cigar. Actually, you talked about Elijah Dukes in Washington, so I don't know how he could be in Washington and Minnesota at the same time. 13 wins and over
Who was
220. It was Delman Young. 13 wins and over 220 strikeouts on the worst team in the major leagues. This pitcher luckily got out of Baltimore and moved to a great team in Seattle.
Eric Bedard.
Eric Bedard is the winner. This player won 2 World Series games with Anaheim and is now on your favorite team, the Cleveland Indians. Oh boy, and he doesn't even know who he is.
Fan.
That would be Brendan Donnelly. This player had the longest streak without giving up a double, 65 games, as he moved from Chicago and is now a reliever in Atlanta.
Neil Katz.
Neil Katz is not correct. That would be Will. Oh, man.
Boy.
That would be the end of round 2, and at the end of round 2, the score, as we check with the judge, would be
close.
10 for the good kid and 6, not too far behind for Grover. We're in the third round here. Everything's worth 3. We're under the buzzer here. This player had a game-winning hit in the World Series win with Arizona. He went from Los Angeles to the Florida Marlins.
Me?
Yes,
To the Florida Marlins, Hanley Ramirez.
Wow. He had a game-winning hit with Arizona in the World Series, huh? That would be Luis Gonzalez, which
Gonzalez,
he actually talked about for a while for
He's
being
age
41. This player was the closer in the 2007 All-Star game and moved from Arizona to now be the closer in Houston. He had a name.
And now Arizona doesn't have a closer because of it.
Yes, mentioned it earlier, and that was Jose Valverde.
Oh, yes.
If you listen to the show, you might get a lot of these answers. Apparently, I'm not going to make any assumptions here. This player was named in the Mitch Report as he moved from Seattle to be the primary player in Kansas City.
Jose Guillen.
Jose Guillen is correct. This player played 17 years with the Royals. He has now moved to Oakland. Dead air.
Can't pull it.
And that would be Mike Sweeney.
I think I'm close.
Now, Jeff, I'm going to give you this one. Actually, I'm going to give, good kid, I'll give you this one. Jeff, you're up. This player caught and kept the last ball in Boston's World Series
Doug
winning for
Mankiewicz.
Doug Mankiewicz, moved from New York to Pittsburgh. Good kid, this player on the Milwaukee Brewers was harassed by me when we went to the Park District Brewers game. What was his name as he's now moved down to Philadelphia?
Who'd that be?
Jeff Jenkins?
G-off! G-off! The only player, Jeff, in the major leagues to be knighted. He moved from New York and is now in Texas.
Knighted.
Knighted.
In Texas. Josh Hamilton.
No, that is Sir Sidney Ponson. And the last question, this player played 8 years in Toronto before he moved to Oakland, and now he's just been shipped back north of the border.
Not going to be able to pull that one either.
Scott Rowland.
No.
It was a really tough game for them. That was Shannon Stewart, but at the end of the game, a come-from-behind win for Jeff Gross. Unbelievable! He pulled it off. The guy has not lost a game yet, but unfortunately, when we do the football show, he will be going up against me, and the good kid will be doing the questions. So, Jeff, start studying now. We'll be back after this break.